What a wonderful individual try from Daniel Rolls from Wanganui, bring up the first score 5-0.
Yeah, that was a great try. He just saw the opportunity. They had no sweeper, so he took it quickly and just chipped over and chased. And they had the legs on everybody.
They don't encourage kicking too much in sevens, but that was just good vision, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, exactly. They were all up. It was the only option he really had.
So looking for John Guthrie to perhaps add the extras. It gets just inside the right-hand upright. Wanganui off to an electric start with 7 points. So Wanganui, well, they'll be fired up, no doubt about that. And Tupai Pāti will restart. They go shallow. West Coast able to secure comfortably. And Seru flicks the backdoor pass. It's picked up nicely. And just stepping inside, but no, a foot out of touch. Wanganui will have the put in.
Yeah, those are the sort of mistakes the Coast will have to get out of their game. You know, they need to keep hold of that ball, and they just received it, and they went the wrong option and ran out. So.
You often get to that standoff situation, don't you, Frano, where the attacking team and the defensive team are standing looking at each other. It's really up to the attackers to make the first move.
Yeah, and if it's not on, then they need a release valve.
Mason involved in that, and this is Guthrie. Mason, the player, dumped. And Wanganui just finding it hard going at the minute. West Coast seem to have had their defence a little bit better organised now. And here's Seru again. He's had about 5 touches. Just got to maintain some composure. I've used this Seru so many times already. And the elongated James Wood just fires out a long pass, but it's secured. And West Coast have their best opportunity so far. Regan Dixon. Inside him, Tauwhare. Can't find him. Lost forward. Try scorer. Rolls able to secure it for Wanganui. And eventually out. Not a lot of shape so far.
Yeah, it is a little bit. You know, they're not really getting anybody in a release position about 10 yards behind the actual ball carrier so they can throw it back there and reorganise themselves. They're all just in a flat line, and they don't really have too many options but to take it in.
The breeze favouring Wanganui. And Mason bringing in Guthrie. Just one tackle there. It's still on the Wanganui side. The referee asks him, Bryce Lawrence, to release. They do, and it come tumbling through. Mason, it's been busy enough. Pāti, first genuine run with the ball, and Seru doesn't really affect a good tackle. Slowed him down for a moment. West Coast just thinking, and Wanganui not giving them a lot of time to do so. Now they've found a gap. The sweeper will come in and misses his tackle, so that's ineffective defence. And away goes Layne Green. No chance of being cut off by Daniel Rolls. So 2 tries to the 2 number 9s. Layne Green under the bar.
Yeah, that was an excellent bit of individual play by Layne. Just had his man on. He took him on the outside and just had the legs for him. So excellent try.
Here's Green now, and that's the sweeper and Pāti, and if they don't make the tackle, they've got to at least slow the attack down, don't they?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the runaway try was converted. The scores are locked up at 7 apiece, and 4 minutes and 40 seconds in this 10-minute half. So we're under halfway through. We're over halfway through.
West Coast try scorer was Layne Green.
West Coast with the high restart, but none of the players were able to follow through and put any pressure on the ball taker. And Wanganui now. They certainly started with an impressive fashion, and here's a kick and chase from Iowane Seru. cover defence in Matt Ash. We mentioned he would be effective, wasn't able to stop the try, reaches out, the try has been awarded. Iowane Seru brings up the second try from West Coast, and Wanganui defence rattled.
Yeah, that was a great try by Iowane. He chipped it. It was a little bit long, but if you watch now, he chased very well. Put a lot of pressure on. Managed to tackle the guy, get the ball, and just dive over for the try. Stretch that arm out. Good try.
It's also converted, but yeah, no criticism there of Matt Ash. He went back in defence, but he was in a tackle. He had to release. Had he not done so, it could have been penalty try material, so the defender did everything he could. But too much skill from Seru. 14 points to 7 on West Coast after getting a bit of a shock early. Straight back in the match.
West Coast try scorer, Iowane Seru.
Kamini took it for Wanganui, and they now distribute quite deep because they're trying to find some sort of gap in James Ward in order to close down Ash. It's now Wanganui looking a bit more likely. It's Ulu and Kamini. Knew the gap wasn't there on the outside. It's kept alive by Rolls. Here's Raymond Lee Mason again. Scott Kamini. Oh, good work at the breakdown there from Regan Dixon. Stayed on his feet, made the tackle, stayed on his feet, and therefore secured it for West Coast.
Got to stay on hind feet.
Which of these teams is looking the more organised, Frano?
They're both a little bit scrappy at the moment. I think the team who organises himself a little bit better is going to take this game. They're still looking a little bit tired in this first half.
Little dummy. Seru is pivotal in this Royal West Coast attack.
At 3 o'clock.
A little bit of space, but there's no way Dixon's going to run 95 metres on his own. But a congestion sideline. Seru picks it up nicely. Looks to be numbers outside of West Coast, and the delay in passing it, I don't think that was particularly wise.
Forward pass. Yeah, I think if he just passed it straight away, you know, they had a 2-on-1. He ended up throwing a wild pass which went about 5 metres forward.
There's the two players we're talking about, just on the outside there. A delay looked the wrong way and then through nothing short of a poor pass.
Yeah, those are the sort of opportunities they've got to take in these games. I mean, it's a final, and they've got to cut those mistakes out.
Here we go.
Into the last minute of this second final. It's the Shield final between the fourth place players in the pool. And chance to take home some silverware. Will it go just up the road, or will it go across the Cook Strait to the West Coast? And at the moment it's looking to head south. And untidy again. Matt Ash doing what he could, but he's only bought them a bit of time.
Holding back.
Yeah, there's a little bit of jersey pulling there, and I think some of these guys are looking forward to that half-time break.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shock to the system. 10 minutes each way, 20 minutes really of non-stop rugby. Just a couple of minutes for the half-time breather at finals time. Seru. Chip and chase, he backs himself again, but that's better for Milieu. He didn't quite grab total possession, the mark wasn't given, and a hand in the ruck spoils it.
Yeah, I think that was a waste of a kick, that one, a waste of an opportunity in attacking position.
3 red, 2 black. Come on, here. 10. I've got it.
So into extra time now, into referee's time. The next phase will probably bring the first half to a close. Wanganui may be satisfied with just kicking the ball out and having a rest. Looks like the option to me. And that ensures that the half-time score is in favour of West Coast by 14 points to 7. And just the fact that they just kicked it out confirms your suggestion, Frano, that they're tired and looking forward to a glass of water.
Oh, they're definitely very tired out there. It's a hot day. They've been doing a lot of running around, and they're certainly looking forward to that water.
at the presentation of the Women's Trophy, which is accepted by the captain, Anna Richards, and in the background there, Tani Norton, former All Black, witnessing, and there's the team in celebratory fashion, enjoying the moment, and deservedly so. It was a good win, wasn't it, Frano, for the Auckland women? You predicted it, and you were right.
Yeah, I predicted it. I was the Bay of Plenty girls were keen to change that, and they were motivated for it. But you know, at the end of the day, they just weren't up to it. And full credit to Auckland, very skillful team.
Well, you've got 1 from 1 so far. Let's put your name on a bit of paper here for West Coast Wanganui. For me, it's pretty hard to call perhaps West Coast, but your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. I'm going to pick West Coast only because they're 14-7 up at the moment. Generally, the team who's winning in the first half generally wins these games. I think they're going to be motivated enough. It's a team who keeps that ball. You know, they've got to learn to keep hold of that ball a lot more. Keep the possession.
It's one of the Coast's efforts, and it was one of the better ones because it was Layne Green, a great individual sprint. Slight lapse in the defence from Wanganui, and Green with that very handy 5-pointer. So just the perfect conditions here in the last couple of days in the setup and yesterday's action. It was sultry, it was overcast come 4 o'clock, it poured with rain, and then it was sultry again. Much more pleasant here. There's a little bit of a breeze, and the players and the spectators enjoying these conditions, and certainly enjoying finals action, which restarts. Shield final, 14-7 West Coast lead, and they are first in possession. Josh Blackie wearing the unfamiliar strip of red and white. He normally wears blue. Of course, New Zealand representative at 7's, and missed out on a Super 12 contract, so he'll be looking forward to perhaps impressing Gordon Tetchens. He's naming a 44-man squad after this tournament.
So this is a big squad, isn't it? 44, just for a 7's team.
It is, but of course it's quite a lucrative and enjoyable experience being on that world circuit, no doubt, and many of the players are using this opportunity to put their name forward.
Yep, Mark. Wait over there, Blue. Touch and hold.
I suspect Frano, he could probably name the first 6 or 7 of that playing squad right now.
Yeah, and hopefully some of those are in the North Harbour colours, eh? Yeah.
Yes, we'll see how North Harbour get on later on. And certainly favourites in the cup final. In the meantime, we're at the Shield final, and Wanganui could bring up the first points. It could be Chris Marsoe, and it is. So that was a nice work on the blind side with the Wanganui, like they did in the first half, opening the scoring.
The try scorer, Chris Marsoe.
Yeah, he just ran across. He drew 2 players in, leaving a big gap on the inside. Did a late cut, and then it was a horse race to the line, and he had the wheels.
Is there something the defence should have done that could have stopped that move? Or was
the inside guy chasing should have just held on and watched the guy cutting back and taken him. It's just a lack of communication, I think.
He was committed the wrong way. The conversion is flattered away. 14-12, the pointer. For the record, last year, Southland, who ended up winning the title, half time and won 29-15, so it did favour the team winning first, but as we said before, 2 completely new sides, and Seru was able to step, but caught by 2, and Blackie, well, he just knew where to be and knew what to do, made the burst, Seru, and kept up with him. She says, once you tackle, get up and support the next player. That's a good ploy. Now West Coast have the line open, but the Wanganui defence coming across nicely. They won't come across, they won't stop this man. It looks like James Ward, and he dives, almost collapses perhaps under the crossbar. Tremendous response, a repeat of the first half where West Coast have hit back straight away.
Yeah, that was an excellent try. I mean, they had a 3-on-1 and they nearly blew it.
Josh Blackie making that break.
And if we have a look here now, there's a 3-on-1. Nobody's drawing anybody, so they're just drifting across. Making things a little bit harder, but a pass into James Ward. Little step. And a try.
conversion successful, 19-12. Must be quite a bonus for perhaps for some of these lower sides to get the services of Josh Blackie, who brings so much experience at 7's level and helps with that organisation.
Oh, exactly. You know, it's all about having experience in amongst youth here, and that's certainly going to help them.
Kick-off is contested and one tap back, and Blackie picked it up, but they're saying knocked on, and that's the correct call.
You certainly can't beat experience in this game. You certainly need those the youthful players and the speed, but you just can't beat experience.
Just knowing how to use your energy, I think, is key for not running around unnecessarily.
Especially on a day like this.
Well, Wanganui, they had a half chance and they've kept it alive. Tall, rangy players in the West Coast side, but they're very mobile. Tony Hourston, and back to Layne Green. He's had a taste of the try line and he wants another one. He'll be grabbed by the collar inside to Blackie and he will score. And that's a wonderfully worked try, and West Coast meeting the prediction of Fernando Bodeka that they might just be too good here.
Yeah, if we just have a look at this try again. Layne was going on the outside, got caught, good support on the inside to Josh, and in for another try.
Support play from West Coast really showing out here. And this man has had a good game, I think, Layne Green. He runs hard and runs strong. He doesn't sort of stand back. He thinks, well, I'll have a go at this, and that's a good attitude. He's enjoying his day in the sun, of which there's plenty. Oh, what a lovely drop goal. That was a beauty from Regan Dixon, the big man.
Straight down the middle. Awesome. They certainly help these extra 2 points, especially in these finals.
Wonderful shape. It deserves the replay. It's very similar to your style, Frano.
Yeah, except his went over, of course.
And we restart again now. Wanganui, they've got 4.5 minutes and they've got a 16-point gap. It could close almost immediately, or at least be reduced, because they had a chance from Liu, but this is the difference, I think. Wanganui not quite getting the players, the support players there, whereas West Coast is. And there's Blackie. He just knew which way they were going and he slowed the move down by just running into the line for Wanganui. Came onside, so no problems. And now they've knocked it on. So there's lack of support runners.
Yeah, they're lacking that support play. They're looking a little tired out there as well, Wanganui. They've been chasing West Coast around for the last couple of minutes, so they're tiring very easily.
So Seru to feed for West Coast, and good, I said good pressure, but he might have been offside. He was. So West Coast now don't need to exert any extra energy, kick the ball well out of play.
Yeah, they're winning at the moment, so they're just biding their time. They're in no rush, so they just kick for touch and wasting that clock down.
They line out, Wanganui. And here we go again, as Daniel Rolls able to repeat his heroic act, or perhaps that's a bit strong, but certainly intuitive act of chipping and chasing. Malo. And Wanganui just can't take their opportunities, whereas James Ward for West Coast, well, where's your money, Frano, on whether he'll make it?
Oh, I think he'll make it. I don't think he'll make it around under the post, but he's going to get there. He's got a big smile on his face. He's a happy man.
And he's going to take his time because he knows Wanganui are now out of this match. What a wonderful try, individual try. There's been a couple of runaways. West Coast have enjoyed this romp, and it was from a mistake from Wanganui.
Yeah, exactly. They were attacking. You know, they just ran out of options through a bit of a loose pass. And there we have the runaway.
I think you're going to have to talk us through this conversion, Regan Dixon. Is he as good from the left-hand side of the field as he is from the right?
Well, we'll soon find out, won't we?
Over to you, Frano.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to him. Here we go. Oh, he's let me down. That was a shocker.
It was a direct contrast to his earlier efforts, so that probably won't make the highlights package. 33-12, 1 minute 20-odd seconds remaining. West Coast can book the space on the Picton Ferry for this trophy.
Release! Only the head, only the feet. No problem.
Francis, we've got the sheets for the pavement on the wall. And Wanganui have perhaps a chance to finish on some glory, but not for the first time. They've knocked the ball on under pressure. 30 seconds remaining, and West Coast know that they've done the work this afternoon and come away with the rewards. Wanganui started so well, but not able to maintain the pressure. And Seru will just dispatch it backwards, and the West Coast are happy to kick for touch. That's a sign of confidence.
Yeah, they know they've got the game under wraps, and like you say, they don't want to exert too much more energy. I don't think they've got much left, actually. But yeah, full credit to them, they've played very well in the second half.
Quick throw in. Not sure how far they'll get. Ran out of space, ran out of time of Wanganui, because West Coast have taken this shield for 2001 with a comprehensive 33-12 victory, and a correct prediction by Frano Bonica that they would end up on top, and they just looked quite a well-drilled unit.
Yeah, they did. You know, they had that experience on Josh, who was in there with them, but yeah, they deserved to win. It was a close game in the first half, but in the second half, the West Coast, they had a lot of the ball, a lot of possession. And Wanganui, you know, they were just tiring running around, and it's always difficult to defend a team with the ball all the time.
I think it's tremendous that a province like West Coast, who doesn't get to shine in the limelight too often, perhaps at NPC level, has this opportunity at 7's to show that there is a core of players down there, highly skilled, and still very much rugby's part of their nature.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's fantastic for these guys to get down here, show their wares, have the opportunity to be on TV in front of a big crowd. And you know, they've got some silverware, so that's fantastic, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be full of liquid later on this evening.
Certainly worked hard. The Seru we saw in the background. Layne Green, I thought, was one of the standout players for West Coast. And the big men, Ward and Dixon, they threw themselves around about, and I think they had conditioned themselves particularly well. It's a very familiar face there, Frano.
Yeah, Gordon's got about 43 names on there. I think he's got one more gap to look for.
You could make one for Botica, perhaps.
Well, maybe I might have to come out of retirement. I've seen Rushy out there. He's had an oxygen bottle at half time, so I might be able to do the same.
Okay, let's go sideline with Stu Wilson.
Well, Regan Dixon, congratulations. A bit of silverware in the cupboard at West Coast now.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, mate. Had a pretty dismal NPC season. This sort of makes up for it a bit. Go home to the coast tomorrow with some silverware. Will be bloody good.
It is good for the union, particularly like West Coast, to get on TV and be seen at a national tournament, and also to be taking a bit of hardware home.
Yeah, oh, no, for sure. I mean, I think boys showed a lot of heart. We sort of get a bit of stick in the paper about how we go. But I mean, out there, you know, how much guts the boys have got in home and how much they love their footy. So the union, you know, rugby union support us a lot, and it's got to be thanked. So
you also do the kicking too. You're sort of like not only the captain, but you do the kicking, do everything, one-man band.
Oh yeah, it's because I'm the captain. I tell them I'm doing the kicking because I want to get on TV. Yeah.
Well, Regan, you have a good time up here in Palmerston, and well done on a fabulous effort in the Shield final.
Thanks, mate, and you make sure we will be having a good time too. Right. Cheers.
And Razor, is it Razor? Is that the nickname, Razor? Well, Raymond, I think maybe just got shut out a bit there by the Coasters.
Yeah. No, they had more heart than us in the end, and they deserved it, and we should have put more pressure on them and on our defence, but no.
Raz, it was a bit disappointing because I thought you guys had battled pretty well right through the playoffs and to get to the final, and just get shut down a wee bit.
Yeah, well,
you a bit tired? Is it hard?
Yeah, man, hot. The old weather down here, well. Yeah, but no, it's been good though.
Well, you have a good time this afternoon and enjoy the rest of the finals.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Well, the prestige event here at the National 7's is, of course, the Cup Tour. Bay of Plenty have reached the final after disposing of Otago in the semi. Let's just see how they did that in that semi-final win.
Ross Martin takes the tap for the Bay. Solomon changes direction to Alan Bunting, one of the more impressive players for Bay of Plenty. They seem to have plenty of time for Stuart McDonald out wide, and he will now bring up the first official try of this semi-final. McDonald under the posts. It's Bay of Plenty 5-0. So Otago through Haimona, restart, big high long kick into the 22 for the Bay of Plenty. So it's the Catholics against the Coasters.